Draymond Green just can't stop talking shit about Paul Pierce, right? And then he said something about he's getting sick of Paul Pierce's fans and their revisionist history. You know, saying like, you know, Paul Pierce, people like to make it sound like Paul Pierce was just great winner and that he always won the postseason. And he was saying like, you know, I wonder if he, anybody's ever showed him one of my videos, whatever. You know, saying like, you know, well, Paul Pierce used to struggle. He used to score a lot of points, but they never used to make the playoffs. And yada, 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 blah, 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 yakety, smackety. Well, let me tell you this, all right? This is what I got to say about this. Paul Pierce, when he was drafted, right, in the abbreviated 98-99 season, right, that was his first season. That first season, if I'm not mistaken, it was that first year. It might have been the second year. I can't remember exactly what year it was. It was either the first season or it was into the second season. Shaquille O'Neal was the one who anointed him with the moniker that has stuck for nearly 20 years. The truth. It was Shaq, a fucking legend. Even then, Shaq saw the greatness that was in Paul Pierce. Okay? When Paul Pierce came to that team, the Boston Celtics, he was the third option behind bum-ass Ron Mercer. And I love the guy to death, man. He was exciting at times to watch, but extraordinarily inefficient Antoine Walker. And people think that Russell Westbrook is inefficient. My God, they didn't see fucking Antoine Walker. He was third. All right? It took about 3 years or so for that Boston Celtics team to finally get a winning record. They had a little stretch in the early 2000s where they were a playoff caliber team. Now, why did it take so long for Boston to win? Why weren't they winning? Maybe because, number one, they didn't have any fucking talent on the team outside of Paul Pierce and Antoine Walker. And Walker really isn't the type of guy you're going to win championships with, okay? So really, essentially, it was Paul Pierce. Number two, he played in the Atlantic Division in the very, very late 90s, early 2000s. You know who's in that division? The teams. Teams that ruled the 1990s and into the early 2000s. The Philadelphia 76ers with Allen Iverson, okay? They perennially led that division. Then you had the Miami Heat, okay? The Miami Heat were one of the top teams in the NBA in the late 90s. They still were a good team all the way through into the Dwayne Wade era. That's what they started. They started falling down around the time that they drafted, when they got Wade in the draft. The New York Knicks, a great team in the 1990s, still a very good team into the early 2000s. And the Orlando Magic, who were an okay team. Then you had the slow rise of the New Jersey Nets in that division later on in that decade with Jason Kidd. So that was a very competitive division. Probably the most competitive division in the NBA of that time. If Draymond Green knew his basketball history, which he don't. Okay? So for Boston to finally make the postseason, win 49 games 1 year, okay, yeah, they weren't a great team. But Paul Pierce never played with anybody. Not really. Paul Pierce essentially was a guy who played with nobody. He didn't have great teams when he played there. He didn't play with 2 Hall of Famers or 2 All-Stars or 3 All-Stars like a Draymond Green. It's easy to talk shit when you got that much talent around you. And yeah, Paul Pierce, maybe he was harsh in calling him a bum, but look at all the shit this guy talks. Now, for about, I'm looking at it right now. I'm going through their records before the Big Three emerged. The bottom fell out in 2006, 2007 because of injuries. All right? Injuries hurt the Celtics. They had They had a 4-year span where 3 seasons they had a winning record. Okay, but like I said before, Paul Pierce had no help. Like for a long period of time, the best teammate that he had was Al Jefferson. Everybody else essentially were role players. Now he really didn't have any fucking help offensively, Paul Pierce. He was the reason why they even won a lot of games, to be honest with you. And you saw what happened when Paul Pierce missed a lot of games due to injuries. In 2006, 2007, they dropped all the way to, what was it, 26 wins? 24 wins. When he only played 40-something games. And the team had a lot of different injuries. He was the reason why Boston wasn't a fucking lottery team. At least they were winning 40-something games. And the way that they got Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen, it wasn't some preordained thing. It happened. It happened. Boston Celtics fans have been long suffering, man, and I was so happy for them. Even though I'm a Chicago Bulls fan, I was so happy that Boston had that magical season. And if it wasn't for Kevin Garnett's knee injury, if it wasn't for his knee injury, in my opinion, in 2009, Boston would have repeated. They kind of got cheated out of a fucking ring, to be honest with you. But to attack Paul Pierce's legacy and say that y'all in the same boat, no. You're not in the same fucking boat. How you in the same boat? I tell you what, Draymond, you benefit from having shooters and great fucking players who can create their own shot on your fucking team. Put your ass on this fucking garbage-ass 2006 or 7 Celtic team, and let's see how fucking great you are. Okay? As a matter of fact, since Kevin Durant's gone down, you supplant that 26 points. You lead the team in scoring. You never will because you fucking can't. I don't give a fuck if it does make you mad if people call you a bum. You are a fucking bum in comparison to legends. You fucking bum. B-U-M. Bum. Bum squad.